Welcome to Kara's Cures, where we explore the cutting edge of wellness. I'm Kara Sundlun. With COVID rates soaring, what can you do to protect yourself? And what do you do if you get it? My guest today is naturopathic Dr. Artemis Morris from the Artemis Wellness Center in Milford. And she's here with a vitamin protocol to help. Welcome, doctor.
Thank you, Kara. Great to be here.
You know, Omicron has been spreading like wildfire, and every time someone gets it, I always get the text, what do I take? What do I do? So vitamins matter. Give us the lowdown on what we should be taking for immunity and to prevent it, and then what we should take if we get it.
Absolutely. Yes, I'm getting those texts as well all the time. And I do have the book, A Naturopathic Doctor's Guide to Wellness for Immune Support, that has everything in there. But at this point, the most important thing is we need to do our part to know our home remedies. And starting with food, we always start with food, avoiding sugar, including things like citrus fruits and ginger and mushrooms have immune supportive properties. That chicken soup really does work. And then the teas to have around as well are really important with licorice root and elderberry. And so we start there. And then looking at nutrients, the nutrients we need to prevent us from getting sick and are really important even for helping to prevent us from going into the hospital and having severe illnesses. Top of the list, as the studies have shown, number one is vitamin D. So the deficiency of vitamin D can lead to increased risk of mortality, increased severity, and there's been some really great studies on it. So you want to make sure you're taking your vitamin D and are not deficient in it. About 2,000 to 5,000 IUs a day, 50 to 125 mcgs. So there's that. There's a multi you can do to prevent. There's fish oil, there's your probiotic, because most of our immune system resides in our gut. And then if you do get sick, it's really important to know what to take. And definitely you want to take a little extra zinc, 30 to 50 milligrams of the right form. And I have that information in the book. Vitamin C, again, there's the citrus fruits for that. But vitamin C, 2 to 4 grams a day is good. And then we can get into some of the herbs and spices as well.
Well, let's talk about that too. Yeah, you have a whole protocol, which when I got COVID a long time ago before the vaccines, you know, I immediately called you and I called my traditional MD and I kind of did everything, right? I was like, okay, I gotta make sure I'm going to be okay. And, you know, just starting with food, eating some garlic, you say raw garlic is best. You told me if I couldn't tolerate it, put it in between the apple slices. So garlic is an antiviral?
Garlic is not only antiviral, but it's also antibacterial. And actually, for garlic to be active, you have to crush it and then let it sit. So that activates the enzymes that help to produce the allicin. So crushing it is essential to and letting it sit for a little bit. And so you can eat it. You can eat it in food. You can have some kimchi or some fermented veggies that have a lot of garlic in it, stir fry it. And then those onions also really work as well. Really great source of sulfur molecules and really help antibacterial, antiviral properties. The ginger, another really great antibacterial and antiviral. And you'll see a lot of herbs and spices are antibacterial and antiviral because antibiotics do not work for viral infections. It actually can make it worse because it throws off your gut bacteria. So these are all antiviral and antibacterial, which is nice.
Right. So also you have something called andrographis, which I wasn't trying to pronounce it, but I know you said that's important, especially if you get it.
Yes. And speaking of pronunciation, as someone who's Greek, it's Omicron, but that's always a fun thing to play with. So the herb that I studied, when I did research way back when in med school on natural antivirals, one of the top ones that we saw again and again was Andrographis paniculata. It's a Chinese herbal formula, Chuan-Chin-Lian. And so I do really like that one in combination formulas. And one thing that's important to know is some herbs are preventative and others you take as soon as you get sick. And andrographis is one of those. You don't want to take it preventatively. As soon as you get sick, if you take it, that along with things like elderberry, licorice root, and many other herbs will actually shorten the duration and help you do your part by staying out of the hospital for mild symptoms.
So bottom line, you want to have this stuff as in your medicine cabinet. So right now you already have some ginger tea or licorice root tea or andrographis and vitamin C's and vitamin D. They're already there in your cabinet.
Yes, and I do send newsletters out, as you're aware, just because there are things that you really should just have on hand, because once we get sick, it's almost too late to go out and get this or get that, so I really getting the best quality supplements on hand or tinctures, and then that food is really medicine. So getting some of those supplements to have them on hand is essential. It's just as essential as having Band-Aids, and having some of these other things. This is your natural first aid kit for when you get sick. And, everyone knows someone who's gotten Omicron.
Absolutely. I think we all know way more people now than we ever did last year. So let's just review. As soon as you get sick, you should be taking your vitamin D every day, but you say as soon as you get sick, you should up your vitamin D to 5,000 units a day?
In general, for adults, 5,000 IUs is a good dose to do as long as you don't have any contraindications. That's about 125 mcg. So upping that. And then the vitamin C, you want to up that to 2 to 4 grams a day. Take some zinc if you don't have any already in your multi. About 30 milligrams is a good dose to start with. And then take the herbs. So the andrographis, I have some specific ones that we would do. Things with ginger, things with up the onions and garlic, get that chicken soup in, do those teas, those ginger teas, that elderberry at first signs of getting sick, the Chuan Shen Lian, and some of the other combination formulas are very effective at reducing the duration and helping to keep you out of the hospital for mild symptoms. And then if you get congested, things like NAC, which for now is still available as a nutraceutical. It may be only available as a pharmaceutical in the future, but right now that's really great mucolytic. And then there's other formulas for post-COVID syndrome, which have been studied by Cleveland Clinic, like resveratrol and such. So even olive leaf extract, it works really well as an antiviral. So we've got a lot of choices.
Right. And people get confused about, okay, what do I do, or how can I get all of them? But in general, the foundational 4, if you're doing well right now, you want a multivitamin, you want a vitamin D, you want a good fish oil, and a probiotic. Those are the things you think we kind of all should be taking, adults or kids, just to keep us going. Then if we actually get sick, we're going to really up that vitamin D and add in some vitamin C and herbs.
Absolutely. Vitamin C and the herbal formula is really important to have on hand. And I do have some easy click bundles. A lot of things are out of stock now, but for patients, I also do something like I will do customized packs for what they need specifically to keep on hand. This is what I gave away for Christmas to my family, like these little packs that they can take at first signs of getting sick. And it has vitamin C, it has the andrographis in it, the NAC. So absolutely want to keep those on hand to stay out of the hospitals.
Specifically, if people go to your website, which is artemiswellnesscenter.com, there's a link there, and you have some bundles you've put together. I know I've sent them out to people before, like if you've tested positive for COVID, you get this bundle and it's good to go. But sometimes it can take a few days for it to come. So like you would rather people order it now.
It's really preventative medicine starts with getting things on hand. Absolutely. Keeping that ginger around as well. But the website where I have the supplement links is drartemis.com. And then Artemis Wellness Center, we have the information on the programs that we're doing. But under drartemis.com, if you go under COVID-19, there's a free link to the whole treatment plan. And I wrote that book just to help others. So there's the whole free treatment protocol is free on my website, drartemis.com. And it gives you all of the nutrient information. And we are doing another detox as well. That's another way to get your immune system primed and also to help you recover, because it's an anti-inflammatory diet is essential not only for your immune system to be healthy and reactive well, but also to help you recover.
Yes. Okay. So the detox, we've done it on Great Day, Connecticut many times. You can follow my Facebook group, CURES, and scroll back, you'll see it. But you're launching it. You support people, right? You get into a Facebook group, you give them the recipes, you tell them how to do it. It's not too bad. 6 days, 8, because there's 2 days of prep. But it's not a detox where you don't eat. You actually get to eat food on your detox.
Yes, and it's the combination of the best of the Mediterranean diet, which is the best diet for decreasing risk of chronic disease, helping your immune system, and using anti-inflammatory foods, like we're going gluten-free and dairy-free. And we do it with the season. So this season, Lisa and I came up with a menu that has a lot of traditional soups in it. We've got more citrus, so that this is going to more onions, more garlic, the things that are really going to help you seasonally to be well. And, advice on teas as well. So we're really making it a good way, not only to like maybe shed some pounds, but to prime your immune system and to know what to have on hand and what to eat, even if you're feeling sick.
Yeah, so if you are, maybe you have a cough, you have a sore throat, sometimes we don't always know what it is, but you have information, studies you say show that honey lemon tea is actually more effective than any pharmaceutical for cough and sore throat?
Yes, there have been studies showing that honey, and you want to get a local honey ideally, because that would also be good for allergies, is more effective than any pharmaceutical for colds and coughs. They shorten the duration by 2 days. And as I mentioned, if it's a viral infection, antibiotics don't work because antibiotics are for bacterial infection. So COVID, Omicron, that's a viral infection. And so you want to do things that help with viruses. And honey has been shown to be effective, especially for sore throat. If you combine it with lemon, you're getting your vitamin C. And, if you want to do a hot toddy, if you're not adverse to that, that's another option you have to help you sleep. But that honey lemon combination is a winning combo for sore throats and is clinically proven to be very helpful.
Peppermint tea is good for fevers?
Yes. So traditionally in herbal medicine, peppermint tea has been shown to reduce fevers. So when my patients call up and they have a fever, I will recommend peppermint tea. There's wet sock treatments. There's a lot of wonderful home remedies, but peppermint, even if you have peppermint essential oil, you can use that diluted. You can use it in aromatherapy. Very safe. Peppermint tea is extremely safe, and it reduces fevers, helps with heat. And of course, we need more studies on this, but it's a home remedy that works for many, many, many people.
What's a wet sock treatment?
Ooh, that's a great question. So I learned about this many years ago, but it's a traditional home remedy. You get a pair of socks, 2 pairs, one cotton pair and then a wool sock. And you put the cotton pair in ice water. Sounds scary, but it works. And then you put them on, and then you put the nice warm wool socks over it, and you go to sleep. And then by the morning, your socks are dry. And what it does is it draws that heat down into the feet. So that's a home remedy for fevers and colds and congestion as well. So, and then the peppermint tea, going back there, is really good for congestion as well. So it's a nice one combo. But that wet sock treatment is a really great home remedy, and it's relatively free.
Yeah. Okay. And also, my grandmother used to say, I think she told us every time there was something wrong, just take a bath with Epsom salts, which I have come to love. But that's not just an old wives' tale. Epsom salt baths can really help us.
Absolutely. So one of the symptoms I hear from my patients is body ache. So for a viral infection, fever, body ache. So for the fever, you can do some peppermint tea. Again, you want to make sure it's not so high that it's dangerous. You can contact your doctor, but the peppermint works really well for mild fevers, and suppressing the fever, if it's mild, actually can make the virus lasts longer, because our fever is our body's natural way of clearing an infection. So mild fevers, you don't want to suppress them, but talk to your doctor. And so the Epsom salts are another great way. Epsom salt bath, high in magnesium, natural muscle relaxer. And if you add some peppermint essential oil to it, maybe some lavender to help you sleep, you've got a double whammy, and you've got your own home remedy spa treatment there.
Right. And I know you like to make everything on your own, but if I've noticed, if you're sort of a cheater like me, you go to the store, sometimes they already come with the lavender infused. So.
Yes, do whatever you need to do to make your life easier. That's we don't want to add stress for some of these things. So yeah, great job there. And your grandmother is a wise woman. So
many people have gotten vaccinated, or they're getting the booster shot. So they're getting mild cases, but they're still getting like a cold or sick. And so it would be important. This information is really for both people, for someone who maybe chose not to get the vaccine, or those who have been vaccinated, but now they're getting these mild illnesses. This can still help you clear it, or maybe prevent it from getting worse.
This is absolutely important and essential treatment for anyone, because as we're seeing, people who are vaccinated are getting it at very high rates. And so this is, it's really important that we do our part to know home remedies to keep us out of the hospitals for mild treatment, so we don't overwhelm the hospitals, because that's really what the whole point is of getting the vaccines too, is to stay out of the hospitals and to prevent hospitalizations and deaths. And these home remedies, knowing, having the food as medicine, having the right supplements around, knowing what to do at home is essential to helping any mild treatments, helping to prevent you from going to the hospital, and helping you to recover quickly.
Well, I know I had a local family that we share Christmas Eve with, and 3 of the 6 of them came down with COVID. So I went over, they called me the vitamin fairy, because instead of leaving lasagna, I left like a whole bunch of vitamins. So I found that they do help. I'm following your regimen as much as possible. You're reminding me I'm out of my multi, so I got to order more. Quality matters. I know you have some great ones on drartemis.com. You can order, and I found myself, they're not necessarily that much more expensive. You just know that they have exactly what you need in them. So, and of course, you do Zoom appointments, or people can come see you at your wellness center.
Yes, I do a lot of telemedicine as well, especially during these times when the kids are home. So definitely you can get a customized recommendations, but it's very cost effective to get the right supplements, because there's a lot of misinformation out there on vitamins and supplements and herbs, and a lot of poor quality companies out there. And there's some very inexpensive ways to make ginger tea at home and do some of these things. But if you really want to keep something around in case you get sick at first signs, the right supplement could really save you a trip to the hospital. It could really help to reduce your risk. And that vitamin D is a really important part of that protocol from what we're seeing.
All right, Dr. Artemis, shout out the best website for people to go and get your vitamin protocols. And I know your book is on Amazon, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. drartemis.com. And if you scroll down, the protocol is free where it says COVID information.
Perfect. Print that out. Give it to your friends, share it to them. I'm also going to make sure to post it a little bit later on my social media channel, so people can follow me there at Kara Sundlun. If you're getting asked like I am about what do I do, everything is right there. You can say, Dr. Artemis told you so.
And I hope everyone stays well. Having it on hand, really, it will really help us to do our part to keep us out of the hospitals.
Absolutely.
If we have mild symptoms.
My kids are annoyed with me. They think I'm pushing vitamins all the time, but they're taking them, so.
They're a good mom.
All right, thank you, Dr. Artemis, and hope you're all having a great day out there. Again, we'll have this information for you on my social media channels. You can watch more CURES right here on the WSB app, where we have lots of interviews on the cutting edge of wellness. Be well, everyone.